Welcome to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine here with Ted Ings. We are at Mike Calvert Toyota today in Houston, Texas. And Ted, we've got an exciting day ahead.
Very grateful to Mike Calvert and the Mike Calvert team for having us in today. Two gentlemen with us on the opening, Mike Gorbett, who is the managing partner and general manager at the dealership, Matthew Winston, who's the Fixed Ops director. Gentlemen, thank you so much for having us in.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for coming in.
And Mike, we also want to thank Reynolds & Reynolds for helping more set all this up as well.
Of course.
All right, so give us a little overview, Mike. What can we expect today here at Mike Calvert?
I think we're going to talk a little bit about where we were and where we're at, how we get there. Talk about our culture, our people. Talking about our processes and passion. I think would be a good start.
Matthew, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, thank you for joining us today and for recognizing us. We're happy to share some of our best practices and our success stories, on how we recruit and develop people, and how we utilize all the tools with Reynolds & Reynolds and, how they've been a good partner to us, and how we got started with mobile service and how that's thriving for us.
Sarah, it was just last year that Mike Calvert Toyota became a certified dealer at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
That's right, Ted. And Reynolds & Reynolds nominated Mike Calvert Toyota for the Certified Dealer Award. And congratulations on all of your success.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so without further ado, we're excited to get started. I'm Ted Ings. I'm here with Sarah Vantine. We are in Houston, Texas at Mike Calvert Toyota. Sarah and I will be right back.
Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine here with Ted Ings. We're at Mike Calvert Toyota today. And Ted, we've got some exciting questions to learn about the history and culture here.
Great honor to be here at Mike Calvert in Houston, Texas. Mike Gorbett is the general manager and managing partner. Mike, thank you so much for having us in.
Thank you for coming in.
Mike, just to kick things off, talking about how many changes have happened at Mike Calvert Toyota. You went from selling, around 250 cars a month to now over 800 cars a month. There's a lot that went into that.
Oh, there's a lot of effort went into that. I think it's all about the people. I think that, we started with 18 sales associates. I think we have like 73 now. I think we started with 13 technicians and we have close to 65. So a lot of work, a lot of leadership went into that. Leadership, I think presents the vision, and then with the vision, I think the employees then they can take off with it and they run with it. And that's what our people have done, and that's just kind of got us to where we're at today.
And what was the turning point that really escalated how your business has been so successful?
I think it's a point where all of our directors and employees came together and decided that we were going to do what we say we're going to do. We want to be leaders in our market. We want to be a leader in everything. We said everything is measured. We want to win. And so I think that we try to get better 4% and 5% and 6% at a time. And we did a lot of training and development, and the employees took off with it. And here we are.
Mike, Fixed Ops revenue also has doubled from $1 million to $2 million. That doesn't happen by accident. There had to have been a mind shift or some operational changes that made that growth possible. What can you share with us today?
Well, I give a lot of credit to Matt Winston, our fixed operations director. Just a wonderful person to work for and work with. All of his employees, super engaged with him, and he does a lot of videos and a lot of training. And there was a point where we decided, like, how good do we want to be? And, like I said before, all the technicians bought in, the service writers bought in, and we had great partners like Reynolds, and we took off.
Mike Calvert is heart of Gulf States Toyota, and you're at the top of the Gulf States Toyota list for performance. How are you able to maintain that gold standard month after month?
Well, it's a mindset, number one. And like I said, anything measured, we wanted to be leaders in that area. And so we talk about it. We talk about, hey, we're going to sell 1,000 cars. And we just kind of made that our mindset that we're going to sell 1,000 cars. We came from being number 77 in Gulf States Toyota to number 5. And we did that one step at a time through the people and minimum standards, accountability, that kind.
You know, there's definitely a culture here at the dealership. Sarah and I can feel it when you come through the front doors, and here in the service department and parts as well. What elements of your culture and even the dealership's history do you feel are most important to the employees who work here and your customers as well?
Okay. The elements for the employee, I think, is knowing what the expectations are. And so we make it clear what the expectations are. We have buy-in, we have pre-agreement, and then we go out there and perform. As far as the customers, as for us, it's about hospitality. And, how can we take care of the customer the best, the fastest, most efficient?
We're hearing that around the country as well. Our industry is now compared not to itself, but to other industries, and hospitality is squarely where we are in. And I guess that's where your people from in as well.
Exactly. I mean, from the service tribe to even the technicians getting involved with the customer, doing the video and going out there and discussing with the customer what's on the video and what they're seeing, being involved with them. I know a customer likes to see what's going on in the shop, but sometimes it's not as safe for them to come out here. And so the videos really help, and they seem to love them.
Sarah, exciting times here at Mike Calvert. You could feel the energy here when we got here, and a great day ahead of us today.
A lot to look forward to, Ted, and congratulations again, Mike, for being a Fixed Ops Roundtable Certified Dealer Award winner. We are so honored to have you here with us today.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.
I'm Ted Ings. I'm here with Sarah Vantine. We are at Mike Calvert Toyota in beautiful Houston, Texas. Sarah and I will be right back.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Katrina Ness, joined by Sarah Vantine, and we are here with the Advanced Service Expert Panel in Houston, Texas at Mike Calvert Toyota. Sarah, this is an exciting panel, and I'm so excited to dive in.
Katrina, this is a really important topic in our industry right now, talking about all of the different pieces that create a transparent selling process. But before we get into that, we'd love to have everyone go down the line and introduce yourselves to our audience today.
I'm Eric Majors, a service manager here at Mike Calvert Toyota.
I'm Faith Pretry, the production manager here at Mike Calvert Toyota.
I'm Dorian Udo. I'm the account manager with Reynolds & Reynolds, and I work for the folks here at Mike Calvert Toyota.
Matthew Winston. I'm the fixed operations director here at Mike Calvert Toyota.
Wonderful. Well, Matt, sometimes they say the fixed operations side is also sales. So how do you define in your department, a transparent selling process that is clear to the customer and makes both parties feel content?
Yeah, so I love that question. I always call our staff, whether you're a technician or an advisor, take the word sales out of it, right? Really, we're fact finders, right? And just presenting the facts of what the cars do for when you come in, or when the vehicle goes into the shop, right? And you see failed brakes, right? Facts are the brakes are failed and they require immediate attention. So really just taking that whole hard sales tactic out of it, right? And just present the fact, right?
I love it. I think we're going to need it eventually. Pepper.
Well, and very speaking of transparent selling process, this kind of gets your perspective on really how this entire process, you're moving to 90% electronic and guide. How did that get turned?
Well, we found that with consumers that receive a video showing and displaying their vehicle and presenting the facts of if there's a need for the vehicle, having both photos and videos with it, it makes it, I guess, a less anxious process for the consumer and the advisor both. Before this technology, you used to have carbon copies and call and make a phone call and some kind of services they need. And that could be challenging on expensive repairs, especially if the consumer can't actually see it. So it allows the consumer to see what the tech is seeing from their point of view. So it's a great tool.
Felipe, how have you seen this process evolve in your position?
Is the those are that the customer is more receptive to the recommendations that we make when we show them a clear, transparent image or video. It's crucial for the eccentric experience.
And Adelia, I'm imagining that 90% electronic PCI on these vehicles. Like, what is the real target that a dealership? And then Mike Calvert, of course, is an incredible performer, and incredible operator. But how does the dealership really get started in it?
Yeah, so I think first and foremost, what we have to do is really just take a step back and understand what is my goal, right? And if the goal is to create, levels of transparency, my goal is to create a great customer experience, and then you start building backwards from there, right? And so once you do that, then it's easy to start to put different processes in place that'll help you get to that goal of having 90% videos and 90% MPIs and really, curating a great customer experience.
And Matt, why did you go about starting this goal? Like, what was kind of the original point, and then how did it grow to where it is today?
Yeah, so really it just takes buy-in from everybody, right? We know that presenting the facts and showcasing it, right? Our advisors aren't allowed to sell anything without showing it, and same with our technicians, right? And I put it in the perspective of, say your mom brings her car into a shop, right? And there's all these recommendations, and they're saying she needs to spend, $3,000, $4,000, or $5,000 on repairing her car, right? Which really no facts behind it. Just you need this, you need that. It's where, you could send her the video or send the video to the husband, daughter, son, whoever it may be, and the video stands on its own two legs.
Yeah, and so on the topic of the videos and transparency, we were talking about it earlier as well, but how do customers respond when they see a tech walking them through what their vehicle needs?
We hear it all the time that they love how different it is, right? They've never really had that experience anywhere else, and so they come to us, and like I said, the video stands on its own two legs. So they're pretty amazed by it, right? That we're not just recommending things to recommend them, we're showing and educating, the why it's important for them to get it.
Right, and the tech is the one that's doing it. So that's wonderful. And then Udo, what about you from the Reynolds standpoint? How do customers respond when they see the tech walking them through what their vehicle needs?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious when someone can see a video. I mean, there really isn't any debating, right? They see what's actually going on. And then speaking specific for customers, from our customers' perspective, we've seen just great, reaction and feedback, and then just people using the tools and being more comfortable and being able to really push forward this process is because they see the results that it's doing for their actual business. So all around, I think it's a great tool.
Absolutely. Faith, what about you? How have you seen, this positively impact the way customers perceive their vehicle being done?
Repeat returns, repeat visits. Our recommendations may not be done on the same visit, but they're definitely coming back and trusting us with getting their work done with us because they're able to see it. They see what needs to be done.
I agree. Eric, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, just seeing the customer side of it, it makes us stand out amongst other dealerships that are not doing it. And I think clients that have routinely been our clients for quite a while are now accustomed to receiving a video. And it's kind of nice on the management side, if one of the customers doesn't get a video, they'll let me know, like, hey, I didn't get that video text. Do you mind seeing if you can send it to me? And, sometimes you just have to send a link via text on the Reynolds app, and it's that easy. But yeah, it's awesome to see how they now expect it.
Yeah. Dorian, just in thinking about the customer expectation evolving and being able to see what's going on with their vehicle and really have that video proof of what the recommendations are. One of the pitfalls that I think a lot of dealerships, struggle in that first implementation process is really just thinking about, how do I train? How do I use this technology? What are the best strategies? What are you seeing across the industry?
Yeah, I mean, no, that's really the first major obstacle. I think just human nature, we're adverse to change, right? So we like doing things the way we've always done it. And obviously, bringing in a tool with pictures and videos, it is a change, right? And so the reality is that you have to first explain to your employees what it's going to do for them, right? obviously we want to turn hours in service, and so we let our technicians know that this is going to get us some more approvals, right? And then from an advisor perspective, it's going to help us sell more, right? And then that starts to bubble up, and now the business is starting to get some dramatic impacts as far as profitability goes, right? And so when you can explain that to your employees, your staff, your techs, your advisors, the people that are in the fixed operations world, then it's easier to get that buy-in, and then it's easier for them to adopt the training and all the things that need to be done in order to be able to maximize and get this rolling.
Eric, what advice would you give to other stores that are thinking about, considering us Chris?
I would say, you can't lose anything by giving it a try, right? Um, Watching this store transition into using video multi-point inspections, you can see the difference in the clientele. And I've been now at 2 stores that have done that, and it makes such a huge impact, and it'll make you as a dealer stand out more than your competitors, and you'll be guaranteed to see it in the results.
Hey, any thoughts on what dealers should be doing, or what advice should you give?
Definitely have an adaptability mindset. Being able to change and try new things is super crucial to the success or trying new ways.
And Matt, what other advice are we missing that you would like to share with dealers?
I think it's a no-brainer. I mean, if you want to improve your customer satisfaction and your profitability, right, let the facts do the talking.
You couldn't have said it better myself, Matt. And everyone, we're here at Mike Calvert Toyota. Katrina, Ness, and I are at the pop-up event with Fix Up Roundtable, and we will be right back.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Katrina Ness, joined by Sarah Vantine, and we are here in Houston, Texas at Mike Calvert Toyota. It has been a thrilling day so far, and now we have the mobile service channel right here with us, so we're so excited to dive in.
Katrina, this is a increasingly relevant topic in our industry. Mobile service is taking on much bigger proportions in dealerships, and Mike Calvert has some exciting best practices to share. Before we get started, gentlemen, could you please introduce yourselves to our audience today?
I'm James Bagwell. I'm the service drive manager here at Mike Calvert Toyota.
My name is Steven. I'm one of the service advisors.
My name is John, one of the service advisors as well.
And my name is Matthew Winston. I'm the fixed operations director.
So, Matt, mobile service is a growing part of the industry. What made you guys want to take the initiative to step into this new realm?
Yeah, for us, it was pretty easy to kind of think it out, right? Because our primary market area is so large, and where we're located, we're centrally located in Houston, so we have so many other dealers that are customers, on the north side. It's easier for them to go there. Yeah. So we were just thinking, outside the box, if they can't come to us, why can't we go to them? We're selling them the cars. They're battling to come to us by the traffic to get to our service drive. So really, we launched at the beginning of the year, and this has been nothing but great success. We're in the process of getting our second.
That's so exciting. Congratulations.
And as far as mobile service, I would love to get Dane, Suda, and John, y'all's perspective on this. Has mobile service changed the way that customers interact?
Yeah, I would say that it has, right, in a positive way. With this day and age, we're constantly moving, constantly have something going on with appointments or work or kids, right? And so it's really opened up another door and another avenue with customers to get them taken care of with their service needs for their vehicle, and make it something convenient to where they don't have to really lift a finger other than just handing over the key to the technician, right? And then we handle the rest of them there. So I think it's been a very positive option for service here at Mike Calvert Toyota in the Houston area.
Stephen, have you found that customers have been really receptive to this?
Absolutely. So I was able to start the process at the beginning whenever we started doing the mobile service, and kind of like what James said, it gave our customers an opportunity to not take so much of their personal time, and just make it a little bit easier for them, so that we can literally take the extra mile and go to them And that's just something that our customers, this dealership has such a wonderful reputation of having long-lasting customers. Some of them tend to move away from the area and feel like their only option is to go to another dealership. But once they find out, and once we reach out to them and let them know that we can come to them, they welcome it. And it's actually a testament of their trust with us, that we can go ahead and go to them, take care of their vehicles news. And, as long as we have that relationship between our customers, they trust the dealership, they trust us. So it's a bonus opportunity and very welcome by the customer.
John, how have you seen mobile service change the ways that your relationship with customers have evolved?
Well, primarily I've seen it go from a hassle into a convenience for a lot of customers. And like Matt was saying, whether it's the day-to-day life of a busy person, it's like I'm trying to find some time just to come out to the dealership. For many people, that's a Saturday, which goes from a hassle into a migraine. And now we've shifted that around and reversed it from going just complete convenience block.
And Matt, you're the person in the dealership that if an experience potentially goes wrong, then you're getting that phone call or getting that escalation. How's you seeing mobile service change what customers have been interacting with you and the dealership?
Yeah, it's definitely helped out in emerging situations. Customer able to make it home, right, but they have a flat tire. So our van has a tire changer and tire balancer on it. So they come to their house and replace that tire right in their driveway. Or same thing, with the dead battery, right? They wake up in the morning, the car won't start, and they gotta go on with their day. So we've been able to use our van for scenarios like that.
Absolutely. Talk to us a little more about what kind of customers are drawn to this offering that you see.
And that's actually, the lens of need. We primarily target a lot of our Toyota Care customers, right? They have 5 free services, so they're too busy to come to us. We could come to them and really no-brainer to see service for them.
Yeah. So not only is it emergency situations, so it's also just people that value convenience.
Correct.
At that point. Okay, wonderful. John, do you see this growing as you guys grow your mobile service fleet? Do you see more customers that are going to want this convenient aspect of mobile service?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you think about it, when it comes to you trying to come to a dealership, you not only have to do the commute, but you also have the wait time before you get checked in, and then you get your service advisor to come out, check you in. Then you have the process itself when it comes to the technician doing the work. You remove about 3/4 of that by just having the technician do the work, send out some recommendations, and then at that point, as the service advisor, we reach back out to the customer saying, hey, if you want to do this work, this is how much it will be. Can we go ahead and knock this out for you? So throughout the whole process, it's gone from a 2-hour process down to 30, 45 minutes.
Wow. Now, Stephen, have you heard a lot of great customer feedback on mobile service and the convenience of it?
Absolutely. Especially something I was very proud. I had an honor of doing was reaching out to the customers once their mobile service has been completed, and just to hear the pure happiness coming from the customers on how much time they save, the convenience of it. I'm just very excited for this. If we can reach out to more of our customers and word of mouth starts going around, then I feel like this is going to be a very big powerhouse for us.
Absolutely. And then, James, do you see anything on the horizon with expanding mobile service and the way you guys are going to market it and convenience more people?
Yeah, absolutely. We got a bright future in the mobile service. Houston's massive, and so it's a really big region of just options to take care of people, right? And I know Hyatt, or Jonathan here, is taking kind of the forefront of that. He's really focusing on the mobile service at this point. We have our own team setting up appointments and reaching out, but also it's just mobile advertisement with our name on there as well. So the more people that see that mobile service van out and about will call into us to get appointments set up and, continue to grow with that. And just to kind of touch base on, something that Steven said as well is, last week I actually had a lady, whenever her mobile service was performed, she requested a manager reach out to her, not to complain or anything, but just to shed some positive feedback. And she actually mentioned that the technicians kit that came out were very nice, super helpful, and she really appreciated that being the face of the mobile service van, and was so happy with how everything went.
Wow, James, that's amazing. And Sarah, this is such a growing part of the dealership here. What an exciting time.
It is, Katrina, and one of the unique things about Mike Calvert Toyota and Toyota's brand Now, there's other OEMs that have a much more active presence in mobile service. But, as far as Matt, what you put together here, you're kind of pioneering some things with Toyota and with Toyota dealerships and offering mobile service to customers. So what other advice would you give to Toyota dealerships about offering service?
Yeah, I would say jump on the bandwagon. I mean, we've seen Ford roll it out. We're doing a great job. I think BMW is on board with it. And, really our plan is to have multiple vans. So we have a van going north, south, east, and west, to be able to retain our customers that aren't able to come to us, whether it's a busy schedule in their day or, just logistics, just being too far from the dealership. So, really the convenience factor of us being able to come to them, I don't see why any store wouldn't want to do that.
Absolutely. John, any advice that you would give to dealerships thinking about implementing this?
I would tell dealerships it's not just a trend, it's the direction that a lot of people are going, from the consistency and the reliability of it to just having to reserve time out of their day, and now they can just cut that short. Not just focusing on the consistency, but the transparency where they're training their technicians, that they not only treat the driveway as a driveway, but they treat it as their service bay and leave it more cleaned up than how they found it, leaving the customer to go on throughout their day. All around, just a very great process.
Stephen and James, any final thoughts there?
I just feel like doing the mobile services gives you a great opportunity as a brand to just let the customers know that you really do care for them. Whatever inconvenience there is, just by the sheer fact that you offer an opportunity to leak out and go to them, that just says that you do care.
Yeah, I just think being able to get out into the community and taking care of people, again, is what Mike Calvert's about. And so I feel like that mobile service really encapsulates how we hope to take care of Houston.
Incredible information to share with us today, Katrina, and I'm excited to see how Mike Calvert Toyota is going to continue to pioneer mobile service in the year to come. Everyone, stay tuned. We have more exciting things coming up at the Fix Ops Roundtable.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Katrina Ness, joined by Lacey Kennedy, with two powerful women here at Mike Calvert Toyota in Houston, Texas. Will you two please introduce yourself and tell us what you do here at the dealership?
My name is Faith Pretree. I'm the production manager here at Mike Calvert Toyota, and I oversee dispatching and operations here in the shop.
My name is Stephanie Abdel Jahani. I am the parts manager, and I oversee the parts department.
So, Faith and Stephanie, what strategies have you used to navigate and overcome challenges in the automotive retail space?
In the role that I'm in, I have used different techniques to help strategize a lot of the accomplishments that I've achieved, as well as trying to make sure that my counter partners and my employees do the same as well. I've made sure that we do hold the people accountable for everything that they're doing, as well as, being there for them as a support system inside and outside the job as well.
Perfect. So, how have those experiences shaped your leadership style?
It has allowed me to be more empathetic towards my employees, as well as showing great leadership for them to know that, a woman can go in and do these things that in a male-dominated area that can be achieved as well.
Yes, absolutely. That's amazing.
And then, Faith, what about you? What strategies have you used to navigate and overcome, challenges in the automotive retail space? And do you have any examples of that in your role as production manager?
So, yes, I lean heavily on accountability as well as empathy for my team. And just showing that and being transparent with my team allows us to build the better culture. Yeah, and with everybody, especially having such a big team and, such as 60 technicians, it's important to be very transparent, hold everybody accountable to be able to reach the next level.
Absolutely. And as a leader, it's very important to navigate that in order to create a culture where people want to come to work and want to be there. And as a manager, you two ladies, are doing a wonderful job at that and leading the way and, showcasing that you can be prominent women in this male-dominating industry, for sure. So Faith, a question for you as well. How can women in fixed operations and retail drive innovation and influence the adoption of new technologies and processes?
So, women bring a fresh perspective, a different perspective to fixed operations. We're able to pinpoint certain pains on the service drive and in the, in all of fixed operations that it may be different to men's perspective. And so I think that we bring a refreshing point of view when it comes to different innovations, processes, changes, and so on.
Yeah, and it's such a customer-centered part of, the dealership. So having that, you talked about empathy, having that empathetic outlook on it and a different perspective can be very beneficial and bring a more diverse perspective. Right. Now, Stephanie, what about you? How can women in fixed operations and in retail, drive innovation and influence the adoption of new technology?
I would say the first would be to have a good mentor that will allow you to follow them and understand what you're trying to do as well.
Yeah.
I feel that if we come together and find that one particular person that would lead them and want to grow with them and want to show them, hey, it's actually going to work,
Yeah.
that would be positive.
Yeah, it's really about community here and finding those people to look up to, and that's very important.
Absolutely. So, what role does mentorship play in helping women advance in automotive retail? And how can dealerships create more opportunities for female leaders?
I think if we have more sponsorship that would allow women to be able to come in and put their input into it, as well as work with them with the different roles that we have and be more diverse with, I think it would be awesome.
Yeah. And then, Lacey, I know that you had mentorship with your role at the dealerships. Tell us a little bit about that and how you got to where you are.
Yes. So, when I first got into the automotive industry altogether, I had a mentor. She's amazing. She taught me everything I know, all the ups and downs. She motivated me, encouraged me to be better every day, and it really shaped who I am today and where I want to go in the future.
Absolutely, absolutely. Faith, what about you? Had you had any mentors in your role here at the dealership, and how have they pushed you up? And as you are a manager now, how do you, strive to mentor others?
My gosh, yes. Mentorship is everything. My mentors have taught me that doors are open, and they pushed me into roles that not even I myself thought I was ready. So it's always just very refreshing to have a mentor that wants to challenge you and see you grow. And it's important to find somebody who shares the same, style of leadership that you'd like to lead in. So yeah, it's very important.
Definitely.
So, Faith, tell me, what changes have you led in your organization that made it more inclusive or customer-centric?
So I've created a change in the way that we dispatch work that allows both the advisors and the technicians to be able to have a voice, and that altogether allowing the advisors and technicians to feel heard through streamlining certain processes really trickles down on the customer experience.
Okay. Definitely. And, with this being a repeat and referral business, having that customer experience that is top tier coming from the employees, again, it starts at the top and it trickles its way down. It's so important to keep this the most profitable department within the dealership.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both so much for joining us today on this panel as two strong women leaders in the dealership. And for those of you online, stay tuned because we have a lot more to come. That was awesome. That was awesome. Thank you. You guys were super thorough and fluid with your answers. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Katrina Ness, joined by Sarah Vantine, and we are here in Houston, Texas at Calvert Toyota. Sarah, it has been a wonderful day so far, and we've had a lot of great information shared.
It has been, Katrina, and we're really excited about this topic we're going to be discussing with you today, talking about personnel development and technician mentorship. But before we get into that, I would love to have these gentlemen go down the line and introduce yourselves to our audience today.
I'm James Bagwell. I'm the service drive manager here at Calvert Toyota.
Hello, my name is Steven. I'm one of the service advisors here at my Calvert Toyota.
Robert Lyle, Master Technician Mentor.
Matthew Winston, Fixed Operations Director here at my Calvert Toyota.
Wow. So you're in the fixed operations department. You know, you guys have had a lot of success in looking and building technicians and that talent, finding it from outside of the traditional automotive pool. So tell us more about how that got started.
Yeah, so the COO of our company, Hank Carr, came to me when I first started here, saying he deeply wanted to be invested in our local high school. I'm from California, so I don't have a large pool of technicians to pull from, moving out here, and I didn't want to be known for that guy for stealing technicians from, other stores. So, we got heavily involved in our local high schools, right, in our community. Well, we currently sit on the HISD advisory board, Pasadena ISD, Fort Bend ISD. I'm the chairman of the Chief Parents Emitters. It's about 10% our college, and we're also invested in HCC. So we really just look for, young individuals trying to figure out what they want to do in life, and, just give them that life plan and that opportunity to tell them what automotive is all about.
That's amazing. How long ago did that get started?
About 2021, so about 4 years ago.
Wow. And that's been very successful?
Absolutely, yeah. We graduated by about 18 students through San Jacinto. They go through the program, they come out expert level technician, and they come out an associate's degree as well. Wonderful. And, we provide their tuition if needed, the starter tools, so we really give them a complete career path to get them started.
Great. That's wonderful in helping, young people shape where they want their career to go.
Yeah. Well, in addition, we also have an advisor training camp as well, and really just bringing people outside of the automotive industry and, kind of teaching them how to be a service advisor, right? James Bagwell here, our service drive manager, came from fine dining. And then Stephen came from the parts world, so they really had no advisor experience, So we came through the training program, so they're not practicing on customers, they're learning our culture, our sales tactic, customer service, getting them Toyota certified and Vaughan Automotive certified before you right off their first school.
Wow. So if you gentlemen would tell us about how that experience was in that learning and training process.
Yeah, very thorough. Matt basically has a really good game plan, playbook rather, of just things to learn, from not having any experience, any knowledge of the automotive industry, and really kind of lays the groundwork to be successful, right? You still have to apply all the knowledge that you retain, but he made it really easy to just kind of fit right in. The main thing is caring about people, right? And if you can care about people and you can care about taking care of business, then the rest will follow. So, he helped us learn the ins and outs of it, but we were able to just kind of run with it once we learned it.
Absolutely. It's the customer service industry at the end of the day. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and
Oh, go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry. No, just to mention a little bit on top of what he said, the boot camp training gave us as an advisor an opportunity to grow, learn, feel welcomed in a position to where we may not have gotten the proper knowledge from what we previously started. But I believe that's something that truly differentiates us as advisors. And when you start here is that once we go to that program, as long as we're customer focused, as long as we have the willing to learn and we're coachable, I feel like with that we're able to succeed in our positions as advisors.
Any other pieces to add? Well, and one of the things going across dealerships and Katrina and I've seen a lot of different organizations as we've gone around the country for these pop-ups. But it's really the people in the business make the difference. So, what qualities? And I'll start with you, James. What qualities do you look for in someone who's never worked in automotive?
Yeah, a really good question, right? And it basically, again, just boils down to being customer service driven, caring about people, being able to be empathetic and put yourself in people's shoes, right? People are bringing in their cars and they're bringing in their vehicles with problems, right? We're here to fix those. And it's how you interact and how you basically solve and fix those problems that they have and how you're able to treat them how you would want to be treated. That really kind of sheds light on what we're looking for, right? A lot of our advisors that come from the restaurant industry or some form of customer service, business, and it all boils down to how you treat people. And we try to find the right people for the right position, And at the end of the day, we just want to treat people how we want to be treated, and treat our moms and our grandmas and our best friends, how we would treat everybody.
Stephen, how have you seen the hiring process on, and what qualities do you think make a great employee?
Some great qualities that I've learned and noticed from the employees that we get on board is the fact that a lot of them have a willingness to learn. They all come with a positive attitude, very customer centric, with the mentality of always making our customers first. I always feel like the technical stuff can be learned as we go, but as long as we have that ability to be coachable and trained, as long as we have that, which we see here in a lot of our employees, is what differentiates us from competition.
And Robert, how have you seen these different personalities impact your?
I see it overall as a teamwork, from the techs to the advisors to making sure that we get to the ultimate goal, which is customer driving out in a safe, repaired vehicle. All of those play into it, and when everybody has the right attitude and the right mindset to tackle each problem as if it was their own family member, then we get the best results.
And Matt, when you're thinking about all these different qualities that your team possesses, you have a lot of different personalities and a lot of different skill sets across all these departments. Are there any additional tools or pieces in your process that help you in the hiring decision?
Absolutely. So when we look to hire, we always look for the attributes. We could train the skill. I always say, if you go out to dinner, right, and you have just a wonderful service experience from, your server, right, we could basically relay that to what we do on a day-to-day basis. So just always be looking for that up and rising star, and talk to them about opportunity for switching career paths.
And then, so along with training is mentorship is a huge area. And over our other panels today, we've talked a lot about that. So, to you guys, how does mentorship play a role in lifting up those people and growing them with that?
Yeah. So our program grew so big, we had a technician, about 10 technicians that were students, from high school level going into college and moving in college. So our program grew so big that we were blessed to bring Mr. Lau on. He was a Westbury high school instructor. Wow. So he taught, automotive students throughout high school. So we brought him on, and the mentorship goes through him.
Wow.
I'll let him answer that question.
Yeah, Robert, how do you mentor others? And did you have any mentors in your past that, helped guide you to where you are today?
I definitely had mentors. My own high school automotive teacher was a mentor to myself. I ended up going back and teaching at the high school that I went through, but I am a product of the high school automotive programs. So I know how valuable they are and how they can change that student's life forever. It's one of those things that if you capture youth at an early stage in the automotive industry, what you find is that they grow for a passion for it, and they see how everything works, and they desire to learn more. A lot of times what happens is that high school student doesn't get a job in high school, and then maybe they get hired on right after they graduate, and they get put in the lube rack, and it dulls their sparkle. They don't see a pathway for them to grow. With our mentorship program, they're seeing that there is a path to grow. There is a direct path to basically moving up and becoming an expert or a master technician. And that's what, to me, that if we can train our own, you get the best qualities. You train them how those technicians, instead of getting bad habits from other stores. So as a whole, the mentorship program, it allows us to basically build from the ground up and not rely on other sources.
Absolutely.
James, Stephen, any final thoughts to add?
Lau wrapped it up, pretty well. We try to be picky with who we bring on board because we want to be the best, right? And it's those little attention to the fine details of things that really make us successful. And Matt's really laid down fantastic groundwork to ensure that we are successful and we have a really solid team.
It's an incredible opportunity to be here with Mike Calvert, Toyota, Katrina, Ness, and I will be right back. Woo!
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Katrina Ness, joined by Sarah Vantine, and we are here in Houston, Texas at Mike Calvert Toyota. Sarah, it has been an exciting day so far.
It has, Katrina, and we have an exciting topic that we're going to unpack with these gentlemen here today. We are going to be talking about the body shop and all the success that you're seeing at Mike Calvert Toyota. Gentlemen, if you would first introduce yourselves to our audience and tell them a little bit about what you do at Mike Calvert.
Chuck Baldridge, I'm the Collision Center Director. I've been here for about 4 years, and I just try to stay out of my team's way and try to help them along as best I can to reach the successes that they want to reach, and just try to support them best I can.
And my name is Arturo. I'm the assistant manager here. Just making a little over a month here with Mike Calvert Toyota. Proud to be a part of this team. And my role here is just to assist Mr. Cook with any of the daily tasks that arise. And yeah.
Awesome. Well, Chuck, what makes your body shop stand out in this competitive market?
Well, I think it's two things. It's
Yeah.
it's our people and it's our culture, and they both are intertwined. You know, you can't have great people if you don't have a great culture. You can't have a great culture if you have great people. So, you know, it's kind of probably a theme throughout the dealership here. It's something that we focus on quite a bit. But I had about 2 years ago, I was sitting in a hotel room after a conference, thinking about all the things that I'm not doing right or not doing good and trying to figure out a plan. And I got on the subject of culture, and I wanted to figure out what culture meant. And so I started writing it down, and came up with 5 pages later what culture was and what I thought it was. And so I brought it back to my team here. We had a long conversation about it, and we kind of realized that you know, culture is not a thing that I say to do, or our GM says to do, or our owner says to do. It's a living, breathing thing. It's an interpretation by our people of what our core values are and how they want to implement them every day, and to kind of roll them into achieving our vision.
Absolutely.
So as a group here, I think that's something we've all done in different departments in some aspect, and that's been a biggest differentiator for us compared to our competition.
Wow, that's amazing that you took the time to sit down, have some self-reflection on you guys and the way, the Collision Center ran and everything like that. So what is some of the best practices that you've taken from that and started to implement to make, your body shop stand out and trickle down to the customers?
Yeah, we do just a lot of processes. We try to stay consistent with our processes.
Yeah.
We do a blueprint repair plan. Part of the repairs that we analyze the damage. We have a designated team that does that, so we get more consistent results out of it.
Yeah.
And we get a deeper dive into what's needed for the repair, and we try to focus on, putting the car back the way it was before it was an accident, and making sure it's done properly according to the Toyota's procedures and guidelines. And so we have that's our focus on how we can repair the cars.
Absolutely.
Arthur, how have you seen this body shop specifically stand out competitively?
In their former project, they're very big on making sure that the vehicle is torn down thoroughly. The blueprinting team has a very, very thorough process, and it distinguishes itself from many other body shops that I've been to, and it has its own way of designing stuff.
And so I want to emphasize too the awards and the recognition that your body shop has to see. So could you share a little bit more about what you've earned recently?
Yeah, well, we had a kind of a breakout 2024, and we set pretty much every KPI record that we have as a company, and we had record number of customer AROs, record number of sales, gross profit, net profit, labor hours. So we just had a really successful year internally. But what that did was lead to us capturing our most coveted achievement, which is we won the Toyota Certified Collision Center of the Year Award for the Gulf States region. And so that's something that we worked really hard for. 4 years ago, we were ranked 67th out of 72. And so to be able to fly all the way back up to number 1 and was a great achievement for the whole team. And I think we celebrated that victory from February through June.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow. So tell us, how does the body shop as its own entity of the dealership contribute to the overall success of the store?
Well, again, it's a holistic approach by every department in that we basically focus on removing the silos. We make an effort to work together. It took a while for us to get the right pieces of the puzzle in there to where we could effectively communicate and respect each other as a group. But once we did that, we were able to just start clicking and things started ramping up. We started increasing our sales and our revenue and our profitability across all departments. We spent a lot of time together outside of work, going on trips and just really working on our the ability to function together and just like each other. And that pays dividends for us across the board. And it helps us really stay united on what we're doing. And, most importantly, we all appreciate and understand and respect the life cycle of our owner, our vehicle owner. So when they buy a car, if they buy a car from us, we want them to come to use our service center. We want them to come use our collision center when they get in a wreck. And vice versa, if they get in a wreck and come use us, we want to make them so happy that they come and buy a car from us again. So we try to keep them here with Mike Calvert as long as we possibly can, and hopefully grab some of their friends and family along the way.
I love it. That's amazing. Repeat and referral is what we do here in Fixed Stops, for sure. Arturo, how about you? How do you see, the body shop work cohesively with the other departments in the dealership?
Oh, I mean, I feel like it's a pivotal department. Just as Chuck was saying, whenever a customer comes in and purchases a vehicle, accidents happen, and that's where we come in and take care of them, and obviously try to expedite that process, help them ease through it. Some customers aren't fully aware they've never been in that situation, so it can be a little bit of a daunting situation to be in. But again, that's what we're here for, just to facilitate that for them.
Absolutely. Chuck, and final question, talking about innovations and all of the success you've already had, but what's the one thing you focus on this year to stay ahead?
Yeah, this year we're focusing on how fast we can get the cars repaired through the system and still fix them the right way and still create a good experience for our customer. And so that led us to focus on our initial stage, which is our blueprint planning process. So again, we set up a team that's dedicated to just doing that. We try to get as much of the details out of the way up the front and in the beginning, as opposed to figuring out things along the way and causing a lot of mini delays in the repair cycle. So really it's just about honing in our processes even better than they were last year. And so far we've been able to do that for the first half of the year, and we're on another 30% gain over last year. So things are looking good, and we expect to continue that for the rest of the year.
Chuck and Arturo, congratulations on all the success that you're seeing at Mike Calvert Toyota. It's been an exciting day, Katrina. We've got a lot more to come.
We do.
Everyone, Katrina Ness and Sarah Vantine here at the Fixed Ops Roundtable. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine here with Setting. Today we are going to be talking about the power of retail management system skills. And Ted, we've got twice the crew assembled with us tonight.
We do, and it is a great topic, Sarah. So if I could, starting with Eric, if you'd introduce yourselves and tell us what you do here at Mike Calvert Toyota.
Sure, no problem. My name is Eric Majors. I'm a service manager here at Mike Calvert Toyota.
My name is Faith Pretry, and I'm the production manager here at Mike Calvert Toyota.
Matthew Winston, Fixed Operations Director here at Mike Calvert Toyota.
My name is Dorian Udo. I'm the account manager of Reynolds & Reynolds, and I work for the folks here at Mike Calvert Toyota.
Dorian, I want to start our conversation with you because Reynolds & Reynolds brings a lot of power to dealerships with their retail management system tools. So what are those and how are they utilized?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So traditionally, we've always talked about the DMS, right, the dealer management system. That really was just a set of tools that helped our dealers manage within the four walls. So we're talking about accounting, payroll, HR. And so as we've transformed with retail automotive, our goal is to reach beyond those four wall flaws and help our dealers create a better experience for their customers. And so that's where we really got the retail management system, right? Not just using the DMS to work on the actual day-to-day operations of the dealership, but how can we use our tools to help our dealers better relate to their customers, provide better tools, provide a better experience. So that's really the main concept of the retail management system.
And these tools are really transforming operations in a lot of different ways. Could you give us just some brief examples how?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, when we talk about operational efficiency, right, and being able to deliver communications to customers that really help them better understand what the dealership is trying to tell them. Like, for example, here in service, right? How do I get a customer to understand certain things that are going with their vehicle? Well, simply, you took pictures, to send videos, to send out the temperatures. So now it's not only see what's going on, hear what's going on, but also have the ability to be able to understand it better, right? So tools like that are helping our dealers transform the experience that the customers are having.
And Matt, you've seen a lot of success here at Mike Calvert Toyota. How has using this full suite of Reynolds School transformed your dealership operations?
It's really transformed it a lot, all the way from guest experience to accountability for staff. I mean, we use the full array of Reynolds tools, from check-in to check-out, sexing communication, like you said, videos or photos, along the way. And then from a reporting aspect, when it goes to accounting or, just running an advisor's work in process, we really got everything dialed into one tool. And, we came from other programs where we're feasting bunch of different tools into one to get one communication out. So it's really just helped streamline our service and be a better guest experience.
And Faith, how has this impacted what you're seeing in production?
It's definitely streamlined the process from customer check-in all the way to getting vehicles in the bays, getting work done, having work approved, communicating with the customer directly. So it's really improved our production.
And Eric, I would imagine there's lots of other ways that this has transformed operations as well.
Yeah, I mean, it makes for a great customer experience and makes it seamless from start to finish. And having everything under one roof versus having a few different programs that do similar things, but we'd have one area which we can reference, and so it makes it quicker and easier for the client as well.
Sarah, a lot of these tools from Reynolds have increased the transparency to the consumer. And a lot of these tools the consumers really like. I want to ask the three of the folks up here who work physically at the dealership every day.
Can you give us an example of a challenge that's been solved by the, some of the tools in the Reynolds Managing Assistant?
Any one of you, any challenge?
Yeah, I would say the biggest one is really just articulating, when a car comes into the shop, what vehicle's needs are, right? So we do it through a video multi-point inspection. So a technician is basically walking the customer through the repair process, right? What they're coming in for, what their primary concerns are, and any safety related items that may need to be addressed, to where that way, they're articulating in a video so they can demonstrate, what's actually needed and why, kind of educate them on that.
Anybody want to add to that, Faith?
Yeah, well, that creates a lot of transparency between us and the butcher. Like shipping allows customer to see firsthand what's going on with the vehicle. And it builds that trust for a repeat visit.
And Eric, you oversee a big part of organization as well here in service.
How does this technology help improve not just the customer experience, but the employee experience as well?
Well, as far as the employee experience, there's certain accountability for communication that's expected on each transaction from the advisors and the technicians in the shop when they do their videos. And so having that clear transparency and talking about it and showing it so we're transparent with the client, it's been a great experience all the way around.
Yeah, Dorian, this has got to be exciting for Reynolds, okay? Because here we've got a Reynolds dealership that's utilizing the system. So often we hear about dealerships that use just a tiny portion of things offered, but it seems that Mike Calvert goes well beyond that.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And, the reality is that it all starts with people, right? And so from the top down, we got our conversation earlier with Mike Gorbett, the GM, but even the dealer, Sean Vaughan, he has a standard of excellence, right? And so that excellence is what drives the people within this organization, right? Because at the end of the day, tools are only as good as the people that are using the tools. And so with the folks here like Calvert, exemplary users of the solution, that's where you start to see the results, right? So again, obviously, if you're a good user of the tool, you're going to really be able to see a lot of the benefits of what the tool can do for you as an organization. So I think it always starts with people, and then obviously from the Reynolds end, we try to provide as much support as possible. You have performance managers. We have quarterly consulting calls for Matt and the team to make sure that the tools that they are using are actively being, used properly, right? Some new enhancements are constantly being talked about. And so the goal is just to give them all the support that they need to be successful.
So it's really exciting to hear this. And Adoris, you mentioned the piece about utilizing the tools. And that is so important in today's dealerships, maximizing the technology to be able to deliver that incredible customer and employee experience. Matt, what would you say to other dealers who may not be utilizing this fully leveraging our RMS pools?
I would say definitely get on board. I mean, transparency is the key, to customer satisfaction. Not only that, it's going to help increase your sales, right? A lot of these items speak for themselves. So, from start to finish, I would say, I had that transparency beast. Some Reynolds, is amazing.
Jason, Eric, any other points to have?
I was just going to say that, using the full suite of things, you can also utilize the hub for referencing old repair orders, or old videos, stuff like that. And that's a great tool for the staff as well as, the consumers. They can access their files online, and it's really an amazing tool to use.
Sarah, very refreshing to hear the things happening here on Mike Calvert and how much that Reynolds retail management system is playing a part.
It's exciting, Ted. There's a lot happening in our industry, and Reynolds is a big part of it.
Everybody, we're here today. We're at Mike Calvert Toyota. We are in Houston, Texas, with the leaders in the fixed ops department. Sarah and I are going to be right back.
Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine here with Headings. We're at Mike Calvert Toyota, and today we're going to be talking about accountability in the shop. Ted, we've got quite the group with us today.
And a great topic, Sarah. So without further ado, I'll ask everybody on the panel to introduce themselves and tell us what you do here at Mike Calvert Toyota.
My name is Robert Lyle, and I'm the Master Technician Mentor. So in charge of helping grow our next wave of future technicians.
Yeah, my name is Matthew Winston. I'm the Fixed Operations Director here at Mike Gobert Toyota.
My name is James Bagwell. I'm the Service Drive Manager here at Mike Calvert Toyota.
Matt, I want to come to you first just to set the stage, because we're talking about accountability, and that means a lot of different things to different dealerships. So how do you define accountability within your dealership culture?
That's a great question. So accountability is very deeply rooted in our organization, right? It's actually part of our core values. And I'll just go ahead and pull this out. We have a little pocket card that we read off every morning. And, personal accountability, we take full responsibility and are accountable to our commitments to the company and our guests. And that comes at every level of the dealership, from the ownership, Sean Lawn, down to our valet attendants. And, it really just creates consistency and clarity, lets everybody know, what's expected of them and where they stand. And just like everything in our business, you have to measure it if you want to improve it, right? So we measure accountability, when it comes to attendance, performance, customer satisfaction. At the end of the day, our team wants to win, across all boundaries, and can't win without accountability.
Absolutely. And James, how have you seen accountability be defined in your role and with your teams?
Yeah, so every day, every morning, me and myself and Eric will do basically like a month-to-date daily pulse report of how our advisors are doing, so they can see where they're performing and how they're performing compared to their teammates as well. So again, just another form of accountability to make sure that everyone's striving to be the best. If you see someone excelling, well, hey, what do I need to do to get to that position as well?
And Robert, with your teams, there's a lot of accountability that goes into that too.
Yeah, we kind of echo a morning meeting as well. We go over some of the same data. We go over how many hours we've turned for the week, whatever, and then we go into our video percentages. So we go over each technician might be lacking or where they're excelling. We highlight those, we talk about those, and then we kind of break it as a team, kind of like a huddle. So it's every morning we're kind of getting off on the right foot.
You know, Robert, your position is so unique, and I commend Mike Calvert, okay, for all the things you're doing in growing their own technicians, okay, and building that career path. What are the systems, or what are some of the practices they use to ensure that there's accountability at all levels in this program?
So every month we go over our monthly standards, where we look at their productivity, we look at their MPIs, we look at their video percentage, CSR, all those things kind of go into that monthly meeting, and we meet with each tech individually about those. So it's not just a lot of shops may just move on every day or whatever, but we go through it and actually review it with every single technician every single month.
And James, I'm sure on the service drive, you got to hold people accountable there, okay?
Yeah.
Make sure they're doing all the steps in the process. How do you handle situations where accountability is lacking or needs improvement?
100%. So we have a checks and balances, right? We'll pull them aside and kind of review, hey, this is where we're struggling, this is where we need to improve on. And we have corrective action, right? I mean, if someone's struggling, then we'll do individual trainings. We'll do trainings basically almost every other day here at my Calvert. And just to ensure that everyone's polished up, is doing what they should be doing with our process to be successful and to win. So yeah, we're pretty thorough with it.
As Sarah and I came in this morning with our crew, we noticed that your advisors were walking around the car with customers.
Yeah.
Is that done with each customer every time they come in?
Yeah, as part of our process, right? So we try to do a very consistent greet and process checking in the customer. If everyone's doing the same thing, it just helps with the process of consistency, and it just helps with just overall interaction with the customer as well.
Matthew, how important is that consistency throughout fixed operations, whether it's service, parts, the walk around advisor, technicians?
Yeah, the consistency is extremely important, right? It creates a uniform process, right? So it's basically like every guest is getting that same experience. Something probably more awkward than pulling into a service drive and you see the customer next to you, with their hood popped and they're getting walked around and they're going through the whole process, and then you're not. So we want that consistency and uniformity across the board. And same thing what happens when it goes in the shop, right? We film our videos the same way on every car with every technician.
You mentioned those video APIs. Is that becoming a bigger and bigger part of the industry than it is of the business?
Absolutely. I mean, it gives that peace of mind to the customer that they're actually seeing what's wrong with their car when we video it, versus just telling them that there's something wrong. We can actually show them, and seeing it is how, once they see it, they know that they need to work.
James, I want to come to you and then go down the line as well. And thinking about how accountability can be overlooked. Sometimes it's really hard to have these conversations, especially if they're tough ones with your team. So how do you think that it can potentially be overlooked in dealership operations, and what pieces have you done to ensure that it is prevented?
Yeah, 100%, right? It's definitely something that's an awkward interaction, but we have a really good relationship with our staff here and can have those uncomfortable discussions, right? And at the end of the day, they all know that we want to succeed, we want to make money, we want to take care of customers, we want to fix cars, right? And it's one of those things that if you let that kind of slip to the wayside and just kind of let them and whoever do whatever they want to do, right? Well, then that's when we have problems that we need to overcome. We try to limit as many problems as we can by having a solid process in place and having those uncomfortable conversations that need to take place.
Matt, how have you seen this evolve, and what pieces have you done to prevent accountability being overlooked?
Yeah, so one thing we've created, we call them minimum standards, and they're performance standards, and we created individual performance plans for every staff member, whether you're a technician, a manager, or an AFM or advisor, right? And it goes over what are the key elements that makes us successful, right? Comes from customer satisfaction, certain sales metrics, how many cars we're riding up a day. And these individual development plans we review one-on-one with every staff member. And our managers are tasked, right? They're graded off their own individual performance along with their staff members. So their team has to perform at a certain level, just like they do. And with that, it just helped us blossom as a company.
That's incredible. And Robert, what other pieces have you seen be successful in the shop?
One of the biggest things that I've seen successful is just reminding the technicians how important the video MPI is, going over those things with them daily, helping as a whole, just with their video production on their own, doing a good video, making sure everything's there. Those are some of the things that I've seen happen. But in terms of accountability, biggest thing that I see is when we have those one-on-one sessions, when we sit down with the techs, it's more of a counseling. It's not like, here, hey, you did a bad job. It's how can we help you? And that helps the conversation go as well.
Very good. And that accountability starts at the top because you're all held accountable, and it shows in the results that Mike Calvert Toyota is experiencing. So congratulations to all of you on the success that you're having. Thank you. And it shows. So great work. I'm Ken Ings. I'm here with Sarah Vantine. We're at Mike Calvert Toyota in Houston, Texas. And we'll be right back.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Katrina Ness, joined by Ted Ings, and we are here in Houston, Texas at Mike Calvert Toyota. Right now, we have an incredible panel. We have Ashley Norton and Dave Perry from Blink AI, and of course, we have Matt Winston from Mike Calvert Toyota, who's the Fixed Operations Director. So thank you all for joining us today.
Sure. Good dear. And Matt, thank you so much for having us in.
Yeah.
What a great time to talk about telematics, okay? And to have here with us Dave Perry and Ashley Norton from Blink AI. First of all, congratulations on all the success you're having with the telematics.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you.
All right, Dave, walk us through a little bit on telematics. What is it? How does it work? And why is it so important right now for dealers to be focused on that?
Yeah, sure. That's a great question, Ted. Well, virtually all cars, I think it's 95% of cars are connected cars, so they're providing all sort of telematic information up into the cloud, to the OEM, and ultimately to the dealer. And if you think about it, these are cars that are screaming for service. They're telling you, the dealership, that, hey, we need service, get us in. The difficult part is that what we call the last mile, which is now who's going to reach out to all these people. In many cases, a high volume dealership like Mike Calvert here, they'll get 5,000 or 10,000 alerts on a monthly basis. That's a lot of manpower to try to do that outreach for a busy BDC. And so we've automated that entire process. So we reach out to the customers who have alert, very sophisticated ways that we do it. So we minimize the engagement with the customer, so it makes it very simple, but we make it actionable. It's not just alerting them that their car needs service, but it gives them a way to book a service instantaneously and drive them in. So that's why we're so excited about it. And from the reaction from the dealers are very excited about it as well, Ted.
I've heard you use that term, the last mile, as well.
Yes, we've used that term many times because the OEMs created all of the alerts and they're going somewhere, but nobody solved for that kind of what they calls the last mile, which is the actual communication with the customer to get them back into the dealership and increase their retention numbers and increase their service visits.
Matt, how important is this to dealers like you right now at this time?
Yeah, it absolutely gives me peace of mind knowing that every customer I have in my Service Connect is getting an alert, is getting contacted in one way, shape, or form. So the fact that this goes out to every customer, gives them a link to schedule an appointment, so it takes that human element out of it. It's a game changer.
Yeah. So Ashley, what would you like to see more from our partners in this space? Not in terms of features, but in terms of solving real pain points. What would you like to see more from them?
Yeah, I think when we look at our partners, our dealer partners, our similar vendor partners, I just want to see us all work together more, right? Work harder for each other and with each other, where all of these systems are not so siloed, all the data is not so segmented, where we can actually drive real impact for the dealership.
Yeah, of course. Dave, what about you?
Well, I'll just follow on to what Ashley said there. There's a lot of walled gardens in this space here. There's a lot of data pockets between the DMS and the OEM and so forth like that. And it's to the industry's benefit to break down some of those walls, create some standards. And we're very early into the process, but it's for the benefit of the entire industry, but especially for the customer to be able to connect all this data together.
Absolutely. And then Matt, from the retail perspective, what do you hope to see from these partners in terms of solving these real pain points and getting more from that?
Yeah, I'd have to agree that the integration pain points of, having tools, being able to pull data but not be able to push data, is kind of frustrating on our point. So, it doesn't remove the human aspect of it completely, but the customer's getting outreach, but someone still has to go in and manually, adjust the alerts on what we're doing. So, the integration standpoint would be most helpful.
Absolutely.
Ashley, when you and I were in New York recently at the World Trade Center, Brian Benstock was our keynote speaker and did a fantastic job, obviously. And he talked about the importance of, when we talk about automation or AI, it's not man versus machine. It's going to be man with machine, okay? So talk a little bit about that, how automation is going to play a part in bridging the gap between the vehicle, the customer, and ultimately the product. Well,
Yeah, we always say automate what can be automated, right? Take some of that human manual labor that we can adjust and give them something more high value to work on if they can automate the communications between the OEM, the customer, and ultimately the dealership.
Dave, you're really going to make the dealer's job a lot easier because this data is available, and now you're going to put it into play where they're going to have usable and actionable information that can help the customer.
Absolutely, because when that customer books, not only are they booking a time and a place to bring their car in to get it serviced, but we also provide that information back into the appointment for the dealer to say, okay, we know what car's coming, we know what that alert is, we can prepare for it. It involves some part, you could check in advance that part is available before you actually bring the customer into the drive. But also when you're reaching out to people in any sort of automated way, there's a certain portion that just won't convert. And so we'll take it through a few attempts on the automation standpoint, but then we'll escalate that to the BDC to make sure that every customer's reached out to.
So Matt, your dealership, we saw here today, does a great job with greeting the customer out of their car, the advisor walking around the car, looking at the customer with their needs, at the primary concern, documenting things. I would imagine having this data is now going to make that, over time, even more efficient because the advisor will have access to all this information that we didn't have before.
Yeah, AI seems to be everywhere nowadays, so, having those tools to help, save everybody time, be able to utilize them, is going to be a game changer.
Dave, it seems that time is becoming the most valuable commodity, okay?
Yes.
For all human beings.
Yes.
We've said in the past, a customer might not do some work or repair because of price, but really time is the big issue, and this is a huge time saver for everybody.
It is a huge time saver, but time can be measured in a couple of ways. And part of it too is any latency. So once that alert goes off, if you don't contact that customer for 3 or 4 days, one, they may have had a good opportunity to take it to some other service organization first or ignore it. Imagine if you got a teenage kid driving your car around, you may never hear about that alert. And so it gets the owner the alert, it allows them to be able to book that appointment very quickly. So to the degree that we can be real time in reaching out to that customer literally moments after the alert occurs, it's also satisfying to the customer if they know that, this is just an engine, oil change light. Versus something that may be safety involved that you want them to be aware of. And so we can provide a lot of information too.
And Matt, Mike Calvert, Toyota, Fixed Ops Roundtable certified dealer, thank you so much for doing that. You're actually involved with Blink AI as well.
Yeah.
In doing all this.
So we signed up about a month ago, and I'm really excited to see 90 days worth of data. But I think we had 114 converted appointments,
and a ton of alerts that went out that got answered. So again, like I said in the beginning, it gives me complete peace of mind knowing that every customer getting contacted.
All right. On behalf of the Fix Ops Roundtable, Queen Day, thank you for being a big part of what we do, and you're a Fix Ops Roundtable certified partner, so thank you for that.
You're welcome. And let me say thanks to Matt too, because it's dealers like you that we work with, that we learn. I mean, we got all of our great ideas from our dealers, and so working with you, we learn things every day that we can go back and put into our products. So thank you, Matt.
Well, thank you.
Everybody, if you haven't heard the name yet, it's Blink AI. Blink AI, they're all over social media, and they're taking the world by storm with the new Telematica product. It's available now. It's here at Mike Calvert Toyota in Houston, Texas. On behalf of the Roundtable, everybody, thank you for all you do for the industry. Katrina and I will be right back.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fix Ops Roundtable. I'm Katrina Ness, joined by Ted Ings, and we are here in Houston, Texas at Mike Calvert Toyota. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, Katrina, it's a great honor to welcome back Affinitiv to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. Matt is with us, and enjoy very much what Affinitiv does, and thank you for all your work in the industry.
Yeah, Ted, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. It's great to be down here in Houston at Mike Calvert Toyota's beautiful service drive here. But yeah.
So, Matt, tell us what Affinitiv does.
Yeah, Affinitiv is a full-service marketing platform that allows a dealership to simplify their marketing solutions into one single-source platform. So we cover a dealership's traditional, life cycle, equity, and digital campaigns all in one platform. So when you really think about that, the way I like to talk to dealers is let's do a vendor consolidation audit to see how many vendors you currently are utilizing in this space and how can Affinitiv help kind of trim that down. If you think about the traditional landscape, there's multiple DMS fees for every vendor that you're using. If you can bring everything, or at least most of everything, into one single solution, we can, overall save you money every month by doing a vendor consolidation audit.
And Matt, what a great partner Affinitiv is. I didn't realize all the things that you do when it comes to video MPIs and the technician, when it comes to marketing. Okay, you handle the whole range of marketing, all from things like direct mail to some of the most modern things using AI on the service drive.
Correct.
I've been amazed at some of the sophistication at the tools that you offer dealers, and Affinitiv is always looking ahead. You're looking down the road as to what's next and how to help dealers implement that. So great job on all that.
Yeah, thank you. When you think about it, Affinitiv covers your equity mining solutions, your digital marketing, your lifecycle marketing, and you hit on it, AI on the service drive. So if you think about your traditional owner retention program, most dealerships will utilize an OEM sponsored program that may or may not touch on everything you need. Affinitiv's owner retention program utilizes AI and machine learning to ensure that the right customer is being messaged with the right communication at the right time. We can estimate if I buy a car from Mike Calvert Toyota, but I never come back for service, our machine learning can estimate your mileage and ensure that customer is being communicated to with the right interval message. We can also, identify based on the engagement of the communications we send out. Our AI and machine learning can then alter that message. So if I'm not responding to email, we can make sure that a mail piece is hitting your mailbox and vice versa. So that allows a dealership to really maximize their advertising spend on the service drive to drive customer retention within the service department.
Affinitiv had one of the most impactful panels on the Fixed Ops Roundtable ever when you talked about machine learning and AI in the service drive. I mean, we had a lot of retailers on there, like Sean Kingery. Sarah was a part of that panel, but you really had some forward thinking on there, telling us how it's not a one-size-fits-all approach, it's a tailored approach. And I really like the way that you come at it with Affinitiv, so very smart in the way you do that.
Yeah, Affinitiv gives you a lot of options, from a service scheduler where you can set an appointment with as little as 4 clicks, and all that integrates into our overall tech stack. So you can combine our trade-in tool, our equity mining, and our service lane acquisition product The easiest car to buy if you're a dealer looking for trades is the car that's currently at your service drive right now, and we automate that for the dealer. So if you want to generate 1 to 2 deals a day just through automation to target specific trade vehicles, our service lane appraisal tool will do that for you. Integrating that with our equity mining suite that focuses on the customers at the service drive right now, giving you insight into who to look for, who to talk to. If I need to talk to 20 people a day to sell 2 cars out of the drive, how do you identify those 20 people? Well, our service ledger within our equity mining solution gives you that focus. So if I've got a guy working the service drive, they're talking to the right people at the right time to get those trades that I need. And the sales team on the front end also gains the equity mining function so they can build customer loyalty within the dealership's loyalty portfolio.
Wow, it's very cohesive through all the different departments. We're talking fixed and variable.
Yep, fixed and variable. We also have a full service agency. A lot of people don't actually realize that we can do all of your traditional and digital marketing through our full service agency. We can manage your co-op, we can manage your website, we can do your OTT, pay-per-click, your PMAX, all of that digital marketing, all for one flat fee. There's no commissions with Affinitiv. And it all is consolidated into one single solution.
Wow. And so we also talked a lot about AI and machine learning. So, as AI is becoming a hot topic and some people are, hesitant to onboard, what would you say to a dealer that is hesitant to onboard with you guys and not ready to use AI yet?
Yeah, I would say AI is a necessity. You have to be forward thinking, whether you're a dealership or just anybody in the general public. AI is going to be part of our life. So being able to utilize it effectively, and the way Affinitiv does it is, like we said, with machine learning, to analyze a customer's behavior and then make sure that marketing is deployed to that customer effectively. So I don't want to waste advertising dollars on customers that aren't going to reply or respond. I want to spend my money on customers that are going to come in and service with me or come in and buy their next car from me.
It's a great time to be in the retail car business.
For sure, yes.
Thank you for all that you and Affinitiv does, and look forward to hearing more about Affinitiv here in the upcoming Roundtables.
Thank you, Ted. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Joe, thank you so much. I'm Ted Ings. I'm here with Katrina Ness. We're here in Houston, Texas, at Mike Calvert Toyota, and we're going to be right back.
Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine here with Ted Ings. Ted, we have an exciting guest with us today.
Stacy King is here from Dealer Pay. And Stacy, welcome to the Fixed Ops Roundtable, and Mike Calvert Toyota.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Ted.
Stacy, to kick things off, Dealer Pay is partner with us, and you have an incredible product where you offer multiple payment solutions and payment options for dealerships. So how can a dealership offering multiple payment options and faster checkout processes really enhance the customer satisfaction and experience?
Well, when it comes to payments, customers just like us, when we go to a store, we want offered different payment solutions. So when a dealership offers things such as digital wallets, text and email pay, it looks like the dealership has their convenience in mind. So for example, they go to the service counter, less wait times, turns around into more happy customers, which increases your CSI scores.
And I would imagine this all plays into that big buzzword we're hearing about now, which is efficiency. Creating efficiencies not only for the dealership, but as you said, for the customer.
Absolutely. And when the customer has an experience that is streamlined, odds are they're going to refer other people back to the dealership, which, as we know, being in the industry, is the best marketing tool.
Julie Douglas has always told us, Stacy, that transaction, the payment transaction, towards the end is the most important part, because that's what the customer is going to remember last.
Absolutely. If it's a bad experience on the payment end, at the end of their transaction and their experience at the dealership, odds are they're going to go somewhere else, Ted.
And we've all seen that happen before. A customer in the old days going to the cashier window to pay for the service, the cashier not being able to understand or explain what the charges are, having to call the advisor over, and then it gets complicated.
And then it gets complicated. Correct.
And, and just thinking about the experience that Ted just described, some dealerships, people from the finance office are having to go back to the cashier as well to process it on the sales side. It can lead to bottlenecks. So what role does integrated payment solutions really play in improving the financial management for dealerships?
So when it comes to having a point of sale system that is integrated with your DMS, that's crucial, because what it does, it pulls that information over, which in turn, it slows down, or it speeds up, I should say. There's no re-inputting of data into the system, which takes time away. Everything there is correct. It pulls that information and it streamlines the transaction.
And that's a big time savings, not only for the dealership, but then the customer as well.
Absolute. Time is crucial.
And Stacy, in service, I would imagine that most people pay for their service bill with some kind of a card, debit card or a credit card. I imagine that's a majority. But you've also enhanced that so that the dealer can accept payments on things like, if I could say, Venmo and PayPal. Talk to us about that.
Absolutely. So in the modern technology, your payment processor should be ahead of that technology term. So as far as like digital wallets are common now. So you have the Google Pay, you have the Venmo, you have the PayPal. Those are all things like, I'm going to use Amazon as an example. In today's world, we want to be able to touch a button and move along. So if a dealership has those options for their clients and customers, it's streamlining the transaction.
I think it speaks volumes also if a dealership doesn't have these options for today's customer.
Yes.
And the customer, as you said, we're used to paying for things with our thumb on our phone. And if a dealership is not offering that, that really says a lot about the stores.
Absolutely. You have to stay ahead of the times because in today's world, everything else is ahead of the times. The vehicles that the dealership sells are ahead of the times. Everything's a push button. So they want their payments to be exactly that, a push button.
Stacy, and one of the bottlenecks on the dealership side that sometimes creates these inefficiencies where they have to go to the cashier or they're sticking to the old transaction methods, it's because the controller is concerned about reconciliation of their financial statements. So how do you address some of the pieces that a controller or accounting might have questions or concerns about?
Well, with an integrated, once again, point of sale system, it's all live transaction feed and live reported. So your controllers, your accountants will all have that live feed, and it makes everything a lot smoother and easier for them because at the end of the day, the transactions are there and they can track them down in real time.
And that's across the dealership. So not just one terminal, one point. You're doing this across how many, on average, different terminals points in a dealership?
Oh, wow. That varies. So with ours, it's a web-based system. So a dealership could have 20 terminals currently, but with Dealer Pay, they could track that down to, I would say, 5 or 6 if need be, because it is a web-based platform.
That's incredible.
Well, Stacy, congratulations to you. Dealer Pay is a big part of what's happening at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Absolutely.
You've really come to the forefront
Yes.
since 4 years ago when Julie and I spoke on the phone and she started explaining it to me. And you've really grown in leaps and bounds. So congratulations to you on all the success you're having.
Thank you. Thank you. And Julie, well, thank you as well.
Well, if a customer wants to learn or a dealership wants to learn more about Dealer Pay, how do they take the next steps? What's the best way?
They can reach me. Absolutely. And my email is Stacy, STACY, at dealerpay-.com.
All right. Sarah, great things happening with Dealer Pay.
Exciting things with Dealer Pay, Ted, and I'm looking forward to the year ahead.
All right.
Absolutely.
I'm Ted Ings with Stacy and with Sarah Vantine. We're here at Mike Calvert Toyota in Houston, Texas, and we're going to be right back.
Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine here with Ted Ings and Clint Curtis of Zapmoto. Ted, we've got an incredible conversation here today.
we're really fortunate, Sarah, to have Clint Curtis with us. Clint, welcome to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. Thank you for being a valued partner.
Oh man, thanks for having me. And shout out to Mike Calvert Toyota. Never been here before. This is awesome. And Matt over there was nice enough to let me throw my backpack in his office. I hadn't even met the guy, and he's already given me free real estate. Anyways, super excited to be here.
So Sarah and I are hearing an awful lot about Zapmoto all around the industry. So let's start with some of the basics. Clint, what is Zapmoto?
So Zapmoto is a remote experience platform. One thing we realized is early on is that remote experiences are super important for car dealerships, especially as the business evolves. And what's really hard is implementation, because I mean, they're running an emergency room here, essentially, you know? And so what we do is we come in, we help implement these remote experiences, meaning pickup and delivery and mobile service. So on the pickup and delivery side, which is where we've had most of our focus, we provide drivers and provide a driver pool to the dealerships to actually execute picking up the customer's car, bringing it into the dealership, and then when it's finished, bringing it back. We take on the liability. We vet these drivers because we're going to insure them.
Wow.
And then on top of that, we implement we get into the DMS of the dealership, pull out the data, and do outreach on the dealership's behalf to schedule these and offer these remote experiences as well. Because it's hard. It's hard to do new things.
A friend of ours, a good friend of ours, Ed Roberts,
yes,
says that customers really enjoy the convenience of not having to come in your dealership. What are you seeing out there?
Yeah, I mean, we're operating, you know, from sea to shining sea and in Hawaii. And what we see across the country is what we know in every other industry as well. That, you know, I like to have my lunch brought to me by DoorDash, and I'm willing to pay a little bit extra for that convenience. And my wife loves to order off of Amazon every single day. And it just, I know, because I come home and there it is, another 5 packages on my porch. We live in an on-demand society, and every single business has to adopt this customer expectation now, including car dealerships.
And Clint, a big component that's important in that process, like you mentioned, is the transparency. I mean, you can follow where's my package, where are my things. How does Zapmoto implement some of those strategies with transparency?
Yeah, so we're super excited about the customer experience that we've crafted within our app. And so what happens is the customer will receive a text, you know, when the drivers are on their way to pick up their vehicle. They also receive a link with that. They can click on it and they can see the location of their vehicle at every single step of the way. Because we know next to their house, it's probably the biggest asset that they have, you know, so we want them to, once again, have transparency and know where it is at all times. And then that relationship then feeds into the dealer.
And Clint, one of the things that I see around the industry is that dealerships are getting away from the loaner car experience, where it used to be that you come in, always get a loaner car, then they started drying up, very few loaner cars. Now when I go to the service center, you know, they arrange for a ride for me to go back to work, okay? Or to go back home and then to be brought back. And they don't want the customer to be sitting around the customer lounge, because the only value they bring is maybe to pay for the service. What are you saying?
Yeah, no, it's really interesting because, you know, here we are, we're in this gorgeous facility, right? And I was in their waiting room, their customer lounge, and it's awesome. And it's got the Diet Coke machine and the coffee machine. I'm a big Diet Coke guy, you know? And now what we're telling dealerships is, hey, actually, it's a big L if your customer was in that lounge, you know, because convenience is kindness.
Yes.
And time is money. And when we respect the customer and allow them to be in their own space and not be in here waiting, that's going to be rewarded in lift, in the RO spend.
Yes.
And also in customer retention, and also NPS or CSI, whichever cool acronym you use, depending on what OEM you are.
Well, and Clint, that's a big topic of conversation because, you know, a lot of dealerships, their OEMs are very, you know, really looking at retention as a big number. That's a big industry. So how have you seen this boost retention and customer satisfaction?
Yeah, across the country we see it because, as I said, convenience is kindness. I'm gonna say that like 7 more times, you know, if we stay here long enough.
Got it.
And it will bring the customer back in over and over and over again. We see with our NPS scores that we do internally,
we do a scale of 1 to 10, and our average customer that does pickup and delivery with us comes in at a 9.89, which is nuts, But of course, they're not here because when the customer walks through the doors of the dealership, they're scared, they're apprehensive. It doesn't matter how awesome your staff is because everyone has amazing staff, but this relationship between the customer and the dealership, it's so broken from the last 8 decades of four squares and pressure and high pressure tactics, which is why Carvana even exists, right?
Of course.
It's crazy, And so the dealerships have to change it, and they're trying to. But this is just an extra little, arrow in their quiver that they can use to help retain the customer, make them feel low pressure, and they're going to end up spending more money anyway.
So if a dealership is already in service pickup and delivery or wants to get into that, you're able to help those dealerships and set them up and pretty much provide. Sarah referred to some of the software the customer can see or things the customer can see. You do that on the dealer side too.
Yeah, 100%. If they want to roll out a pickup and delivery experience or a mobile or remote experience, soup to nuts, they just call us up and they turn it on. Wow. And it just starts. We wanted to make the process as easy as a restaurant starting to use DoorDash. That's kind of the model that we've gone after. And then if it doesn't work, they don't like it, switch it off. No big deal.
Wow.
I'll feel a little bit bad though.
And I think one of the great advantages, in addition to the customer satisfaction, is that lift in the RO dollars, because the customer will spend more money if they don't have to wait for the car.
Yeah, we've seen some dealerships even here locally in Houston that have been as high as a 50% lift over with pickup and delivery and remote experiences over just being in the store and getting an Uber home, So and we tie into the DMS so that we can show that data to the dealerships because we also believe in transparency. Zapmoto's not into selling gym memberships. That's what I call them because, I'll sign up for a new gym membership every New Year's and then I don't go, right? We don't want to sign up dealers for gym memberships. So we'll give them total transparency so they can see with the investment they're making with us, what they're getting out on the other side.
All right, so the company's name is Zapmoto.
With a Z.
And if I'm a dealer watching this today, I'm not limited to being a certain OEM or in a certain part of the country. I can sign up with you, and how do I do that?
Yeah, just go to zapmoto.com. We got a FAQ page. You can also go ahead and submit an inquiry, and we'll have one of our team members issue and go through it. It's super easy and super simple. And it's the future.
Sarah, it's right on the money.
It is. It's very timely and a really big asset to dealerships.
All right. I'm Ted Ings. I'm here with Sarah Vantine. We're here with Clint Curtis from Zapmoto. We are here at the pop-up event at Mike Calvert Toyota in Houston, learning about the benefits of Zapmoto. Clint, thank you so much for everything you do for the industry.
Are you kidding me? Thanks for having me. So fun. So fun.
But Sarah and I will be right back.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine here with Ted Ings. And Ted, it has been an incredible day at Mike Calvert Toyota.
Sarah, it really flew by today. And the people, I think, were the highlight of the full organization. What are your thoughts?
It's incredible just to see how much the culture at Mike Calvert plays a big part in people development, an amazing fixed operations department, and just a lot of incredible people we've had the chance to talk to.
They've made some really great strides here, and you're right, the people stood out throughout the entire day today. And we're very grateful to the team here at Mike Calvert Toyota for having us in. Also, the Reynolds & Reynolds Company for helping to orchestrate this and put this all together.
Reynolds & Reynolds has been an incredible certified partner, and they bring a lot of great information to the Roundtable, and we're excited to highlight one of their Certified Dealer Award winners for the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
All right, so with that, everybody, thank you for being with us today. We're looking forward to our next big 4-day event coming up on September 8th through the 11th. It's the Roaring 20s, the second swing.
That's right, Ted. We've got a lot in store. 4 days, over 170 speakers, and it's just jam-packed with incredible content. We'll see you all there.
Everybody, get your complimentary tickets. Go to fixedopsroundtable.com. Again, fixedopsroundtable.com. All the tickets are complimentary. I'm Ted Ings here with Sarah Vantine. We're in Houston, Texas. Thank you for joining us today.